beginning of this discussion, as we look at the origin of St. Paul's religion and what Machen did as a defense of the faith, and it begins with sort of this distinction being made. Is Christianity simply a manner of life, or is Christianity a manner of life founded upon a message? And remember, as we use the term Christianity, we're talking about the faith of the Bible. And, as you think about this difference, it's a meaningful difference, and we'll see that in the next slide. This last week, I was watching a news clip, and a poll was referenced, and the poll done by one of the leading poll companies in the United States asked the question, are you satisfied with your life of the American people? And I'm curious, how many of you think the answer was somewhere under 25%? Anybody think the answer's there? A few people. So 25% or less, less than 1 out of 4. Anybody think it was that? Commit to it. How about 25 to 50%? Anybody want to go there? Oh, few. It's more comfortable to say. How about 50 to 75? All of you are wrong. The result of the poll said 90% of Americans are satisfied, now here's the key, with their life. That there's this interesting thing that happens if you talk to somebody. Talk to them generally about America at large, and a lot of people will say, we're very divided, there's a lot of issues, and depending on who you're talking to, they'll probably point out different issues. But if you turn that question and you say, what about your life? The first time I came in contact with this was about public schools. If you ask the average American, how are public schools in America, they will tell you they are bad. But if you ask the average American, how is their public school, when they actually have children there, it's not theory, but it's practice, they say, oh, it's a wonderful school, by and large. That there's this perception that goes on. So that's part of what's going on. Perhaps there's a little bit of pride too. Do you really want to tell the person that you don't know on the other side of the phone that you're not satisfied with your life? I don't know how much that would factor into it. But it's interesting to think that the message of the Bible, that is not just a way of life, but it's a message. The message of the Bible starts with what? It starts with your life is not okay. It starts with the idea that we are all sinners deserving the wrath of God. It starts with the idea that we should be dissatisfied, and in an affluent society, in a wealthy society, in a comfortable society, that can sometimes be difficult to get people to start there. It's not really the message of the gospel. The message of the gospel is the good news. So what do you need before you hear good news? You need some bad news. If somebody came to you and said, don't worry, I have a cure for you for the disease you have. You say, well, I don't have that disease. I'm glad you did that, but I don't need that. I'm not sick. Right? And that's the idea of what I'm talking about here. And that in some way is the challenge that we face today. By the way, the clip that I saw was not from a news agency that would have been considered favorable to our current president. It would have been seemed the exact opposite, and then they're sort of in despair quoting this statistic out there. But it's a fascinating window into the current American psyche of what we need in the gospel.